morning, everybody. Today is Thursday. This is almost the end of week 4 of Lowry at Home. I'm your host, naturalist Kirk. I'm wearing my sunglasses today because the sun is so intense. It's just super bright out here. The warm-up is about to begin. This snow is all going to be starting to melt. It is going to be feeling pretty good out here. Today is Thursday, and I know that because today is a Do Try This at Home episode, and we are making survival bracelets, Paracord survival bracelets. I'm going to show you how to make one of these of your own. Let's get to it. Okay, for today's Do Try This at Home, we are making survival bracelets. These are really great. They're made out of parachute cord, which is a really strong cord that can be used for lashing and all kinds of useful stuff out in the wilderness. They also look really cool. So this is a style we're going to make. It has a clasp in the back. It's kind of the most common style you see. There are other styles out there. Tom Hardy in the Mad Max movies wore this style. I guess the idea is that they didn't have any buckles in the post-apocalyptic world, so this style you kind of pull on the end and it loosens and tightens up all by itself. This is kind of an advanced style. This is actually a cool one made by Teresa Root over at Dodge Nature Center, so shout out to Teresa. She makes them on hair bungees, and it just slides right over your wrist like that with no need for a buckle. That's really cool and fun. Actually, once you learn how to make this knot, you'll be able to make this style as well. So you will need a couple things here. You're going to need some parachute cord. This can be purchased online these days, so you can go ahead and get 2 different colors of that. You're also going to want a buckle, again, unless you decide to do the style on a hair binder like this. There's a couple different size buckles. Just don't get the teeny tiny ones. Those are a little hard to work with. 1/2 inch, 2 centimeters, somewhere around there is a good size to use. And so what we're going to need to do is we need to cut this into 2 4-foot pieces. I'm going to go do that and be right back. All right, I'm back. I have cut that into 2 4-foot lengths. I want 8 feet total, but for reasons you're going to see in a little bit, you kind of don't want to use all the same color like this one until you are really good at making this knot, because it's very confusing. We want 2 different colors, but I want to treat them like one piece of rope. So I'm going to get a click lighter here, and this is something that only adults should be doing. You don't want to burn yourself when you are melting these ends here. They get extremely hot, and when it touches your skin, it will burn you very quickly. So I'm going to melt these ends, and I'm going to take, oh, they're actually burning a little bit there. Put that out. I'm going to stick those 2 ends together, just like that, and I have to hold them there and hold them there and hold them there, and those will fuse together. Oh, not quite, too soon. Wasn't quite cooled off yet. I want to sort of fuse those together into one piece of P-cord. All right, now hold. And now those have cooled off and turned into one piece of cord. Now I need to get that piece of cord onto my buckle. All right, and here's my buckle. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to kind of pinch this, and I'm going to put it through this. Now this is a little tricky to do if you try to shove this melted end through. So kind of start down here a little bit and put that through and make a loop, and then everything is just going to pull through that loop. Just like that. And that has now been secured on. You notice my seam is actually down here. It's not up here. I don't want my seam showing, and this is going to get covered up when I make my bracelet. All right, so what's our next step? Well, we got to find out how big to make this, so I'm going to need my wrist here. I'm going to take the other end of these strings and put them through this end, and then we're going to measure how big to make this. I'm going to bring this down to about bracelet size and actually put it around my wrist. But if I make it tight like this is the mistake some people make. This is going to be really bad because I'm about to wrap a whole bunch of cord around this, which will make it even tighter. I need to have at least 3 fingers be able to loosely fit in there like that. So I get to that point where I can get that in there, kind of pinch it so I don't lose track of where I am, undo the buckle, and this is the size my bracelet is going to be. I'm going to build it from this end down to this end. So here's what we do. Don't let this move. These two pieces that are in the middle are going to be the core of my bracelet that I'm going to build off of, and these are going to be the pieces I wrap with. I'm going to pick a color that I'm always going to start with. In this case, I'm going to always start with the red, just so I can remember that. Red is right. Red is the one we're going to start with. Here we go. I'm going to get the blue out of the way. I'm going to take this red one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across these two bottom pieces. Make like a little 4 there, all right? The blue one, then, is going to get laid across this red piece, under these two, and then I'm going to reach into this little number 4 I made there, that hole, and I can grab that blue one and pull it out. I know that looks a little complicated, but you are going to get really good at this. See how it's kind of a symmetrical look there? I just keep on pulling those two ends, and they cinch up to the top. This first one always looks and feels a little strange, but we're going to do it again. And now this time you notice the red is over here. It used to be over here. Now it's on this side, but I still start with the red. That's why it's really confusing to make one with just one color. It's because you lose track of which side you were using. I'm always going to start with the red. So having two colors makes that a lot easier. Again, it goes over both of those. The blue one goes over that, under, and I can pull it through the big loop, just like that. That's the knot we use, the same knot over and over and over and over to make this. Over there, under, pull it through. Sorry, my hands are hiding it a little bit there, but it's just that same pattern again and again. And what it starts to do is it makes a pattern in here. Now I want to keep this tight as I go, but this is what creates that pattern that you see in the bracelet. See how nice and tight this is though? I want these tight like that too. And if I don't think about tightening up till I get down to here, it's going to be too late. So see, this one's a little bit too loose here. I want to kind of pull on it a little bit. Really get those first ones I do nice and tight. It sets a good foundation for what's to come. Now, I don't lay mine on the table when I do this. What I actually do is I do it up in the air. I think it's actually easier. I'll show you what I mean. I go across, I reach over and grab this one, I pull it under and through like that, and boom, there's my knot. So I think it's actually easier to do it up in the air. I'll show you again. Over, this goes over there, and I just kind of wrap it under and right through in one fluid motion. That locks it in place. Grab these, push, cinch it up. Red goes on top. This goes under all of those and back out that hole. There it goes. Now this is going to be really tedious to watch me do all that, so through the magic of video, let's speed things up. Here we go. Okay, so let's come back to real time here now and look. We're almost at the end of having this all ready, and I'm getting close to the buckle down here at the end. I'm going to decide what am I going to do. I'm going to try to do a few more turns here. Over, under, and through. And I'll tell you, when I've done this with kids, there's usually a point where toward the beginning where kids are, crying and they're frustrated. I can't do it, and I can't figure this knot out. It's often because they're trying to make the knot harder than it really is. It really is just over, under, and through, and often they try to add extra loops, like going through here twice or going the wrong direction. And there's often this cool aha moment where someone's like, oh, wait, that's it? That's how simple it is? And then once you get it, it's just the easiest thing. It's almost meditative to be able to go through and just do this all day long, making as many of these as you can. And do one last one in here. And there we go. That is the end. And I've got these two tails hanging off here. What do? We grab a scissors, and I'm going to cut them there and there. And now these will fray, and they will come undone. So I gotta take my lighter here, and I'm gonna melt that end and press it down with the metal of the lighter here. Kind of press it into there, and it melts it so it's nice and fat there and too big to pull through. I'll do that to the blue one right here on this side as well. And this does make it harder to untie, but you could always cut it apart when you need it. There we go. And I can bring these two sides together here, clip it together, and there we go. We have our finished bracelet. Excellent. You can try this at home. I'm excited if you make one of these at home. Again, post it in the comments and let me know. I'll send things back to me. Oh my gosh, there we go. You know what? I want to take a moment to thank naturalist Kirk for doing all these do try this at homes. He never ceases to amaze me. Good job. Thank you to you for showing up today and watching Lowry at Home, and we'll see you back here for our last episode of the week. It is our questions and answers episode. So as always, please do put your questions about anything we talked about this week, or really, you know what, any nature question down in the comments, and we will get someone to answer that for you tomorrow, and you can be part of our show. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.